So you must understand this, whatever is philanthropy is only a helping hand when somebody is down. It's not a solution. It is not a solution in the real sense. Solution will happen only when it becomes a two-way process and it can be continued. It is sustainable only when everybody benefits, otherwise it's not sustainable. Whether it's in the marketplace or marriage, if both the parties benefit, only then there is a sustainability. So I was looking at how to make an ecological initiative into a win-win for all the people concerned. When I said all the people concerned, one thing is the fundamental entity is the river. And immediately there are farmers and the communities which live there. And there are local governments and there are people who live in the cities. And there is a larger government. All of them should benefit, otherwise this will not happen. Somebody will put spanner in the works. So this is how the policy was constituted. Fortunately today, the government has received this as a very uniquely positive policy and from Niti Aayog, it's in the Prime Minister's office and I think in a few days the thing will go out. The advisory will go out for all the chief ministers, what they should do in those states. Almost in toto, it's being accepted, almost all the recommendations. So it's been received very positively and advisories are going out. And I must tell you, as already it was mentioned, I think being in Mumbai, Maharashtra government has been the most proactive government till now for us. A detailed project report is being presented tomorrow to the ministry here. And we should be on ground in action probably by end of April or mid-May. We should be working on the ground, a 80-kilometer stretch across a particular tributary. We are particularly focusing on tributaries because for most people, rivers means Ganga, Kaveri, Narmada, Tungabhadra like this. For example, because my engagement with Kaveri is big, Kaveri had 72 tributaries, major tributaries. There are many, hundreds of minor tributaries. Out of these 72, in the last 25 years, over 37 have died completely, totally gone. What is left is in a meager state. Without the tributaries, how will the river flow? People think still they're in the legend that Ganga came and landed on Shiva's hair and it flowed, they're still in that mindset. They don't understand, if a river has to happen, there has to be jungles, there has to be small tributaries, all of them coming together. Somewhere down the line there is a river. A river did not land from heaven. This is something that they have to be very clear about. Still, this point has not gone across. So we have started working on tributaries. We will need all your support because we will be campaigning to make the tributaries of every state a common name in children's minds, in people's minds, because everybody should know the names of tributaries. You know the name of a big river, that's not good enough, because a big river exists only because of these small tributaries. These tributaries has to come into the consciousness of India, it's very important.
Thanks, Sadhguru. I'm also aware that the national board has been constituted and the first meeting who happened yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, in Bangalore.
No, this was the third meeting.
The third meeting.
Yes.
And so anything would you like to share about the board and what is the thinking there and how is it progressing?
So the Rally for Rivers board, which has very significant people in the country, we have a Supreme Court Justice and we have the World Wildlife CEO on it, and we have the top water expert and the father of FPO movement, or the Farmer Producer Organization movement. We have Kiran Majumdar of the Biocon and a few others who are on the ground kind of people.
Smaranam karuna Milanam madura Smaranam karuna Kalavashadiha Sakalam karuna Samayadipate Akilam karunam.
Every day, the period from 6:20 to 6:30 p.m. is an opportunity to experience Sadhguru's presence and establish a special contact with him. You can experience Sadhguru's presence during this period at your local time, irrespective of your physical location. The presence time also involves the Brahmananda Swarupa chant, a consecrated sound.
Here, the yoga center, we invested a certain amount of energy, a phenomenal amount of energy, that even if you're like a stone, we can shake your spine a little bit. They can have you reverberating, no matter who you are. If with little willingness, if you come. If you come with unwillingness, we are willing to work with you. So we invested energies, and particularly for those of you who are little resembling rocks, I'm not saying rocks in a negative way, you know you're rock. That's not negative. You rock is just grammatically wrong, so I'm saying you are like a rock. Even if you are like a rock, well, we set up times of the day. Morning, evening, we set up times because many of you don't see a morning in your life. I'm not talking to those people who live here, we make sure they see the morning. Those of you who come from other places and those of you who are on the live stream, if you have not seen a sunrise, I don't want to disturb your lifestyle. So evening, 6:20, we have set a time. At that particular time, there is a certain concentration of energy. Particularly if you've been initiated, it'll be very strong. Even otherwise, if you use some kind of thought, emotion, image to get connected to this space, we can see that that particular time works for you as a strong presence. So, between 6:20 and 6:40, these 20 minutes, all this costs life. We've invested a certain amount of, certain dimension of energy. Whatever time zones you are, your local time, 6:20, morning or evening, you could become available to this. We will spend a few minutes in this presence, keep your hands open, eyes closed, slightly upturned face. Kannu moodi ukkaandu konjam mukkam mel mukkama vechi kannu moodi ukkaandukalam. மனிதனா இருந்தாலும் கொஞ்சம் அதுக்கு கம்மியா இருந்தாலும் பண்ணிக்கலாம். என்னத்துக்கு என்ன, கொஞ்சம் பேர் அந்த சின்ன செடி மேலே ஏறி உட்காந்துக்கிறாங்க, அவருக்கெல்லாம் சொல்றேன் நான். கண்ணு மூடி உட்காந்துக்கலாமே, கொஞ்சம் பரிமாண செயல் நடந்துடும். Say this after me very gently, மெதுவா கொஞ்சம். என் பின்ன சொல்லலாம், என் கூட வேண்டாம், என் பின்ன சொல்லுங்க.
ब्रह्मानंद स्वरूपा ईशा जगदीशा अखिलानंद स्वरूपा ईशा महेशा 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 ब्रह्मानंद स्वरूपा ईशा जगदीशा अखिलानंद Swarupa Isha Mahesha Brahmananda Swarupa Isha Jagadisha Akhilananda 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 Swarupa Jagadisha Akhilananda Swarupa Isha Mahesha Brahmananda Swarupa Isha 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 Jagadisha Akhilananda Swarupa Isha Mahesha Akhilanandasvarupa Isha Mahesha.
Keep your hands open, sit with a slightly upturned face, eyes closed. Shivanage bandhana Yogeshwara Shivanage bandhana Bhuteshwara Shivanage bandhana Lingeshwara Shivanage bandhana Jagadishwara Bandhano Madheva Baharupiya Kandano Kandhano Ijiviya Kandhano Kandhano Ijiviya Yanjiva Veundhano Shivarupiya Tandhano Tandhano Gnanamrita Tandhano Tandhano Gnanamrita Tandhano Tandhano Gnanamrita. Take your own time. Take your own time. Slowly, very, very slowly. Open your eyes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed my pleasure, privilege and honor to welcome Sadhguru and thank him for being with us and indeed giving me the opportunity to be with you for these 30 to 45 minutes. Thank you and let's start. I wanted to start off with the Rally for Rivers. I think, 16 states, 9,300 kilometers, in 30 days, 142 rallies. And so I would start off by saying, I know you've spoken about it quite a lot, but I wanted to talk about two specific things. When and where did the idea germinate, Sadhguru? And second, if I could club it together, is your experience of having lived through it. Because we've seen it, you've spoken about it, but I think for this August gathering and with the privilege of yours. So where did the idea germinate and what was your, experience with everybody in the entire thing?
My association with forests and rivers of this nation goes back to very early childhood. When I was just 10, 11 years of age, if I found 10 rupees, it's a lot of money those days, I would buy enough bread or whatever, and I would be gone in the jungles for days. Well, there was a whole drama happening at home and in the town looking for me, but I was so engaged with this because when I was in the jungles by myself, what I realized was this was not trees and animals and reptiles and stuff. This was a mega life by itself, much larger life than myself. This is how I experienced the forests of South India. Then when I was 17, I floated down Kaveri for 13 days, 163 kilometers. And I lived off the river. Just on 4 truck tubes and a few bamboos, I just floated down. Like this, my engagement with this has been always. But in the last 25 years, I have watched with some concern that these magnificent rivers and the most fantastic For many days I've lived without food, just on the Kaveri river water and the few Nugu and Kabini river water, because I wouldn't get any food and I just drank water and did whatever I did. But when I saw that the way the river is dropping down and the vegetation around it is being destroyed at the pace at which it's going, particularly in the last 7 to 8 years' time, the depletion of Indian rivers is disastrous. With 1.3 billion people on our hands, the way our soil and water is depleting is something that nobody can ignore. I don't think most people will understand unless they actually travel a little bit in the country and see firsthand, because what's happening is beyond irresponsible. Beyond that, something totally disastrous we're doing, as if we're the last generation here. That's how. That's why most of them are packing off their children to other countries, because we're living like we're the last generation. So this rally has been on my mind for last 7 years, but this is my way. I never speak to even people who are immediately around me. Only 59 days before the rally, for the first time, I spoke to our teams. They said, how is it going to happen across the country? How can we unleash all these events we can do in major cities, but how can we do in the villages and all this? Then we went into the detail. This detail had worked out and we went into the detail for a few days. Then all the teams across the country got into a huddle of their own and started working towards it. But the phenomenal thing was, for the first time, across political spectrum, all parties across the country responded positively, which I thought is really… I need to acknowledge the political parties for this, because all of them coming together for one cause is a miraculous thing. It's almost like we have taken the word opposition literally. We got to just oppose everything that happens in the country. But they all came together, which was wonderful, because that was significant. Because when we drove through the 16 states, we drove through states which are ruled by 6 different parties. And all of them came full on board and most of them signed MOUs with us. So my experience of this, the problem with me is because I don't have a thinking mind, I have a picturing mind. So I picture every small detail in my mind without really thinking in words and what should happen, what should not happen. So literally, the rally went almost in toto, almost 90% just the way I had pictured. So there were no surprises or too much excitement for me. It was nice. Once again, I've driven and ridden across India on my motorcycle. Later on, I've driven across the country many times. So almost for the last maybe 8 or 9 years, I have not really done such extensive driving. So it was wonderful to drive across India. Though I drive across the world, it's always very exciting to drive across India for a variety of reasons. So it was a great thing, particularly the way ordinary people responded. People who do not know what's happening in the country or in the world, they don't know what is ecological disaster, what it is, nothing. Simple people who are fighting for their daily survival. I'm telling you, we're like many days, the distances were planned in such a way that we would drive for about 8 hours to 9 hours a day. But most days we ended up driving 15 to 18 hours a day, some days 24 hours a day because everywhere they're stopping us and they've organized events of their own. Small villages have organized events of their own. I get down and my Hindi and somehow I speak something. I'm driving through somewhere on the border of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. It's around 2 a.m., it's raining, and my right leg is a little heavy usually. So maybe I'm doing like 140, 150 and blasting out. And suddenly in the corner of my eye, I see a blue patch in the rain. Then I thought, 2, 3 blue patches, which is the rally for reverse thing. Then we almost went off half a kilometer away. Then I said, somebody was standing there. And then we backed up all the cars. And you won't believe, one old lady, 3 girls and 2 little boys, they're standing there with Rally for Rivers. They just… somebody told them, some Sadhguru from somewhere is coming and he wants to save the rivers. They're standing there at 2 a.m. in the morning. This is something fantastic, you know